Okay, hi there, everybody. It's Jen Lee with Red Thread Studio. Welcome. Happy Monday to everyone. I'm bringing you today some members of our Red Thread Connect community so you can hear their stories. If you've been thinking about joining the community but weren't quite sure, here's an opportunity for you to ask some questions of our current members. For those of you who are just tuning in and learning about Red Thread Connect for the first time, we are a community and a resource unlike any other for quilters, okay? For both new and experienced. We've got tools to help you finish your UFOs and resources, support and encouragement that's going to help you get organized and finish more quilts than ever before. The membership was born in 2021 in 2020, last year. We're 2021 now. When I realized I wasn't the only one surrounded by so many UFOs, and I wanted to use my newfound time at home during the pandemic to work on them instead of starting new projects. So I decided I wanted to create a place that was filled with the necessary tools for success, where quilters could get advice and support when they needed help, encouragement when they were struggling, and a place to celebrate when they made progress. And so I put out a note back in August of last year, and I said, here's my vision. Here's what I'd like to create. Who's with me? Who wants to step up? And I had 70 wonderful ladies joining me on this journey. They were my founding members who have been instrumental in helping me get the Red Thread Connect community set up. I have 6 of them here today that are joining us, and I'm going to bring them here on stage right now. So welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Hi there. We have, I see online, Laura Marcus has just joined the community. So she's watching and seeing some of you for the first time. So I'm going to just give quick introductions, ladies, and then I've got a series of questions for you. If you're watching in and you have any questions, feel free to type them here in the comments, and I will alert our panelists. So you see their names here if you have a question specifically for any one of them individually. So I'm going to go to my right. I guess to the right of me is Vonda. Vonda's here in Florida as well. She's on the west coast of Florida. And Vonda is a self-diagnosed, as we're calling them, churn dashers for some of our folks coming in after taking the quiz. That's a quilter who tends to get easily distracted by new projects. So that's Vonda. Next to her, we have Wendy. Wendy is in Tennessee, and she doesn't seem to have as many pitfalls or challenges. She just loves picking up one project, working on it for a while, and then working on another one. So she's keeping herself busy. We have Debbie's Donek to the right of Wendy. She's in Michigan. And at the heart, she says she's a pinwheel quilter, for those of you coming in on the quiz, which is kind of a self-diagnosed perfectionist at her core. That leads her to get easily distracted and chase after new projects as well. And then we have Carmen Loruck, who is in Idaho. Carmen also gets distracted by new projects with a hint of perfectionism. Katie to the right of Carmen is also on the west coast of Florida, and she is a churn dash quilter that's easily distracted by any pattern, notion, fabric, book, you name it, that comes her way, and she has a hard time saying no. That's before coming to Red Thread Connect, we hope. And then last but not least, I'm calling her our queen squirrel of our community, Miss Susan Slater, originally from Connecticut, living down here in Florida, actually just down the road from us at Red Thread Studio. And she too gets easily distracted by new projects, also known as the churn dash quilter. So ladies, what I'm going to do is go around the room, and I'll start with you, Vonda. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about how you got started quilting and what your why is? Why do you quilt?
Hi. So I started quilt. I still think of myself as a newbie, a little bit self-taught. I don't take a lot of classes, and but I started quilting probably about 7 years ago after my mom passed away, and I inherited her sewing machine. And she was a quilter, really good. And so I started reading books and I watched some YouTube videos and just tried different things. I love to quilt. I love to applique. I just am always fascinated with all the new techniques, but really didn't have a lot of training. And I really, my friends, I got them into quilting, so we're learning together. So why I got into it was really during COVID. Because I really didn't have a guild or anything. I tried that, but I worked full time. So this was great for me because I could do something virtually, and I'm working from home now because our office we don't go into the office anymore, but it allows me to call in, and I've learned so much from everybody in the group. During the sit and sews, during Jen sessions, I try to join when I can. I love it because there's something in the evening, but that's a little bit about something for me. Every time I log in, I learn something new and I can ask questions, and I don't feel as intimidated asking the group questions. So that's for me. I just feel like, and I guess the other thing is, sorry to keep going on and on, but I am learning more about myself as a quilter, like what I enjoy. And so, anyway, just a lot of it is looking inside what excites me and something I would have never learned on my own. So, that's about me.
Well, awesome. Thanks, Vonda. All right, Wendy, I'm going to unmute you here. And why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started and why do you quilt, Wendy?
Well, I got started sewing at about age 7 and have almost always made clothing for myself. And back in the 70s, I did a little bit of quilting, but when I came to Tennessee, I didn't have any job. And I got to the point where somebody gave me a whole bunch of fabric. So I started quilting, making something out of it. And that's where I've gotten really, really busy with it and have started trying. I have sort of have a bucket list of different techniques that I want to do. And um, that's how I really got started with the quilting. And I joined Jen's group after meeting her by happenstance. I placed a phone call to her because it was the only place that had a phone listed on a website for a product I wanted. And we've grown in our friendship. And so when she offered Red Thread Studio, I thought, well, or Red Thread Connect, I thought this would be great. I don't have a lot of connections or time to go places, especially with COVID. I'm really stuck in the house caring for someone. And this has just been a joy for me, meeting the other people, uh, seeing what they do. You know, we almost have a quilt show every day, depending upon what people are putting in and showing us that they've completed or working on. So, you know, there's so many reasons to join this group. We're fun, we're supportive, uh, we're creative. It's just a great place to be.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. So Debbie, your next step here. How about telling us a little bit about how you got started in quilting and your why? Why do you quilt?
Well, why do I quilt? Why do I breathe? I mean, it's a quilt because it's something that I love to do, and I've always enjoyed it from the time that I was quite small. And looking at it, have always loved it. I have about 25 UFOs, which I don't. It's probably average for most of us. But I joined the group obviously during COVID, but it's been the most kind group of women that I've been involved with. Everybody is very supportive, and it's never an unkind word that is shared among the group, which I've been a part of a lot of other groups, and this has been a very unique experience in that respect. And That's why I just really love the connector group in Red Thread. Jen makes it a very special group of people to be a part of. And if it weren't for Jen, I'm sure it wouldn't be quite as special as it is. But I have always loved sewing and being raw material and just touching it and feeling it. And I know people who are not quilters probably think that's odd, but we do love to caress our fabric. So
That's right.
why.
Pet that fabric. That's right. Thank you, Debbie. How about you, Carmen? What's your why? Why do you quilt?
Muted. Oh, there. Okay, I quilt because I like providing warmth for body and soul. That's kind of the best I could narrow it down to. And I started back in, I believe, about 1985, becoming a quilter. I did a few things before that, but I never considered myself a quilter yet. And then took a break when I didn't have time to create like I wanted, and got back to it in 2011. And recently retired, so that's all I spend my time doing this last year. It's been the direction, the guidance, just the encouragement to keep working and plugging on those UFOs and getting projects completed or moved out. Last year I had a list of 49 when we started, which I think it was in the fall sometime. And
That's right, August, yeah.
Yeah, August, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I completed 10 or moved out, repurposed 10 projects in that during last year. I redid my list this year, and I have 49, but I added all of my kits or my self-made kits that I had not included on last year's list. So it seems like I didn't make much progress, but I've made huge progress. It's helped keep me focused, and I love the community, the encouragement, the answers we get for questions, and just the variety.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, Miss Katie, we'll go spend a minute here with you as well, if you want to tell us about your why and how you got started quilting.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I actually have been quilting for a long time, just not regularly as I am now since I retired. I started quilting about 20 years ago, and at that time we were living in the mountains in Western North Carolina, and quilting is so much a part of the heritage in that area. And I was doing home health care and had a number of patients who were quilters, and was so inspired by them. It was just it was just an amazing experience. But anyway, so they inspired me, and I've been quilting ever since. The thing I love the most about it is playing with fabric and putting those colors together. I love fabric. Yeah, I mean, what's not to love?
What's not to love? Exactly.
But I found Red Thread Connect from Friday Live, and from that and watching those, and then from that you started, as I recall, I think we did the UFO challenge, kind of came.
That's right. Yep.
About that, and then from the UFO challenge, I've just kind of stuck with it and stayed with Red Thread Connect, and honestly, I've loved it. It's tremendously supportive. It's fun. And for somebody like me who is here, there, everywhere, trying all the different things and easily distracted by patterns and color and anything else, it has really helped to keep me focused. And I am finding that I am finishing more of my quilts. I may not start an old UFO, I may start something new, but I am finding that I'm taking it from beginning to end better than I used to. And so for that, it's made me much more productive, and I really enjoy it.
Awesome. Thank you. And Susan, our head squirrel here. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you here 1 second. There we go.
All right.
Okay, you're on.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to be asked to give my feelings about the Red Thread Connect community. I cannot tell you that it has been the highlight of my quilting life, really. Jen has challenged me to think about what quilting is for me. She asked us to make a legacy and have a vision for ourselves. What do we see in the next year? And also because of that, I've hired an architect to put a room above my garage so that I can have that quilt nest that I deserve. That I deserve.
Yes. Now, I hope hubby doesn't blame me for that.
No. Oh, no, because I'm smart. I'm making him a fishing tackle room. So
Very good.
It's good. But I made some notes, and I think that what's wonderful is this Connect community it's a real learning experience. Jen has supported us, encouraged us. She has made us think about evolving our quilting vision every day or every week. She gives us a lesson, and it's so much information that makes you think a little bit more. And I'm happy. That's helped me to. One of the things is done is better than perfect. And while we strive to do our best, we still can accept that done is good. And I gave a quilt to a friend, and I missed a whole sashing thing. But it came back from the quilter, and I said, oh my gosh, I put the binding on, gave it to my friend, and it was the best thing ever. And so we can learn that it's good. And the challenge, I just did the 5-day challenge, and just that everyday thinking and keeping myself in that was just really eye-opening. And I learned more than even I thought that I knew about myself. And yes, I am the head squirrel, but that's okay with me. And I just have such a passion for color. And I even if I don't quilt every day, I pick up a book, and my husband will say, you're looking at that same book? And I'll say, oh, it's just as good as reading a novel. Looking at the pictures and how do we do it, and just being part of this group, it's been wonderful, and I could go on and on, but I'm going to stop.
Well, thank you so much for that. So let me put this question out to all of you guys. What would you say your favorite part is about the group, about Red Thread Connect? If you could only pick one thing, what would be your favorite part? And I'll start with you, Vonda.
I'd probably say, because I come to the sit and sews every week, so I'm gonna have to say my sit and sew would be my favorite part. I look for it every Monday night. I join in, and it's kind of like it's a perfect time where you can just sort of it's like the highlight of your day, but it's the end of the day, so it's something you can kind of build up to. And it also is a time that I'm preparing for. Like, I know that, okay, Monday night, what am I going to do? And I'm going to add one more thing about it that I look forward to is it's a judge-free zone. In other words, and I think, Susan, you said something about this is a kind group that we support each other. And so I look forward to it because it's like getting together with my friends. And so it's not only sewing, but it's the friendship that we know what each other are working on. And again, just so that's my favorite part.
Cool. Thanks for that feedback too. All right, Wendy, what would you say is your favorite part?
My favorite part is the community. Particularly with COVID, I think of Linda, where she was saying she joined us because she had no outlet. She couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And in many ways, that's exactly what it is for me too. It's the community. The sit and sews are great, even though if it's too cold, I don't show up. I I love all the beautiful quilts that I see that members are working on and finishing. It's just, there's just so much here to offer that you can't even begin to say what one thing is drawing you.
Cool. Thank you. And before I head over to Debbie, real quick, we had one of our other connectors. She's watching online. We have Nan. So she's here in Florida, but she's been participating in QuiltCon together, learning a whole bunch of fun stuff. So Nan, we can't wait to hear what you've learned and can share with the group when we see you on our sit and sews. So thanks for popping in. And all right, Debbie, I'm going to unmute you. If you, there we. Oh, I see. So Debbie, you're going to have to unmute yourself. It's saying. There we go.
Got it.
You're on.
I agree with Wendy and Vonda about all of what they had to say, but I would also add that I love the diversity of the group. There are so many different people coming from so many different directions, and you just really learn so much from everyone involved in the group, and seeing all the wonderful things that people are producing and making and getting ideas. And yeah, that can kind of play into some of the squirrel in me, but it's just really wonderful to see how many different people and everything that they're creating.
Awesome. Charlotte popped on as well. She loves the connector group. So thanks, Charlotte, for that. And how about you, Carmen? If you had to pick one thing, what would you say is your favorite part about the Red Thread Connect community?
I actually think that probably the Monday night sit and sews. I love the connection with people, meeting new people, seeing the things they're working on, following them from week to week. And I've made new friends in a time when we are isolated. Even though I do get out a lot, I don't go to any activities and get together with people. So that is such an encouragement, and it's always an encouragement to see the diversity. Somebody else mentioned the diversity of what people are working on, and it does tend to cause me to say, oh, I want to make this, or I want to do that. In fact, to the point that I've now ordered some shishiko.
Yes, I want to keep you guys inspired too. So we're going to finish all of these quilts, and that's the other thing too. There has to be a balance, right? In finishing the stuff we have, but also making sure we stay creatively inspired and keep our mojo going.
Yes, absolutely. The sashiko has a specific purpose, though. It's for a convalescent time that's coming up. So it'll give me a chance to sit and sew.
Oops, I had muted myself there. So I have a little a surprise guest here that's joining here. Nikki Harrell is our international colleague. She's able to pop in very early morning, her time in New Zealand. So if you are outside of the U.S. And you're considering joining, please know we welcome all quilters, okay? Even if you're not here based in the U.S., we're a virtual group, right? So there's lots of opportunities for us to connect online, irregardless of time zone. And we try to make sure we can get everyone included. So great to see you popping in here, Nikki. I hope you have a wonderful day filled with lots of stitching. So, all right, Katie, how about you? If you were to pick one thing.
I think I would say how positive the group is. This is an incredibly supportive group, and we come, we smile, we do our thing with quilting or embroidery. Some of us are doing handwork and English paper piecing, but whatever, we are very supportive and very positive. And I think with our Facebook page, our Facebook community, we haven't really talked about that as much, but our Facebook community is really nice. the past year has not been easy in a lot of different ways. And honest to goodness, when I have been really down about whatever going on, I have been able to come to our Red Thread Connect community on Facebook and just read through those posts and look at the quilts and be happy, and it makes me feel so much better. So that the positivity of this group and this community has been really terrific for me.
Awesome. You made me smile just talking and thinking about it, because it is, and I mentioned this in a note that I sent out to folks who had expressed interest in joining the program, which is, this has turned out to be one of the most kind of motivational and inspirational communities that I'm a part of. And not because I started it, but it's who's inside of it. And it's just a tribute to all of you as well for being the awesome people that you are, one, and two, for being so generous with your knowledge and your experience as well, and willing to share that with the others, I think is what helps keep this group tick. So big kudos to all of you as well. And Susan, so I'll ask you if you want to share, what is your one most favorite thing about the community?
We sound like a broken record, but it is the community. I try to get to the sit and sews every Monday morning. I'm in and out as quickly sometimes, but then it's wonderful. The people are very inspiring. The projects they're working on, it's like, wow. And just like Debbie said, ooh, maybe I would like to do that too, you know? and I've just, it's so supportive, and it's like a quilt show. Every week you're seeing what people are working on and the diversity of what the group likes and what they're working on. And I really feel it's helping me to grow and evolve every week. And I'm calling myself a modern quilter now, and I'm loving that. I'm loving it.
Awesome. Well, we certainly have all kinds of aesthetics in the group. We have quite a few modern quilters, but we have traditionalists as well. We have folks working on handwork and machine work. So again, it's really very inclusive in terms of who quilters are. So I'm going to throw this question out to the group. So just feel free, any of you who, if someone was on the fence about joining the Red Thread Connect community, what would you tell them? What would you tell them to think about when they're considering joining?
Don't hesitate. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, don't hesitate. It's just wonderful. I can't say enough good things about it. Just
do it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Do it.
I agree.
It's a right in and get
well
involved.
spent.
Go ahead, Wendy.
It's a well spent amount of money. You know, you get so much for what little you spend, that it's a very, very, very valuable asset.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to just pause for a moment, because we got kind of carried away. We always have so much fun in asking whoever may be watching, if you have any questions for our panelists here. Let us know here in the comments, and I'll pop those up, because I want to let these ladies get back to their daily lives, right? So Laura Marcus asks, how big will the group get? I like the fact that it's small, one of the reasons I joined. And so I'll speak to this, and then if anybody else wants to add, but I am very conscious of that, because I think that's part of the magic for the group, is that we feel intimate, right? We know each other by first names. And so, for me as a business owner, there's that balance. I want to make it successful and continue. And so I would like to see it grow, but by the same token, I want to make sure we have that same intimate feeling, that closeness, the tightness. And that's one of the reasons why I'm only opening up the doors twice a year, because I need to be able to plan out those months when we bring in new members to make sure that we have the resources available to support everybody. We recently launched the membership site, so it's a great place for us to house all of the information, to keep it organized. So depending on what stage of your quilting journey you're in, or the stage for your specific project, the resources will be available to you, and then offering the opportunities to meet either on Zoom in person or in our Facebook group. Certainly, that's one of my priorities. So you may have seen in our offer page, we have the Zooms, which happen twice, 2 sessions on Mondays. So again, when I continue to monitor the group and see how many people are participating, I am planning to open more sessions as needed to kind of keep that small feel. If anybody wants to add anything on that, guys, feel free to.
That's one of the reasons I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It is small. It has that family feeling to it. And so I was part of another group that was just got to the point where it was so big that you didn't see anybody, didn't know who the people were. And this is the smallness, the intimacy of this is very important.
Very good. Well said.
Yeah, and I guess I would add the personal, it's a personal touch, even though I feel like we all sort of have a personal touch. Again, somebody mentioned about Jen's always available, and I've had a panic before and called her and she picked up the phone, which was great. The other thing I would want to add about maybe we didn't talk a lot about accountability. For me, I needed some accountability. Not everybody needs that. It's just what I found after I started learning more about myself. It's not a pressure. It's just sort of like it's something I put on myself, and it's really helped me organize myself more. So, but if I don't have that, I feel like I venture off and just wander, and I call it going down rabbit holes. So I appreciate the accountability, but not in a really judgment way. It's in a very positive way, and so I really appreciate that part of it.
Thank you for your perspective, Vonda. Thanks. So anybody else watching here in cyberspace want to ask any questions of the gang here while I have them? Just let us know here in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, you can comment here as well, and we can circle back to you with answers to any questions you may have. So I want to take again this moment to thank these 6 ladies, as well as the others who signed up to go on this journey with me, and had the faith that we could find something good together. And I am so truly appreciative of that, and so honored that you joined me. And I look forward to continuing to be your biggest fan. So thank you, ladies. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
For all
you have a wonderful one, and we'll see you in tonight's Sit and Sew.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Bye, guys.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.